A big thanks for staying with us on your wonderful day starter on your channel of champions, ACBN. And of course, we had two segments earlier, bringing you news in brief, reports around Nigeria specifically, and of course, a look at national dailies to see what they have to say with some other developmental stories. And right about now, it's a time for to create a platform for our esteemed viewers out there to share your views and your reactions towards national issues. This morning, precisely, we shall be looking at the recent bill being signed into law by Lagos State Governor Babatunde Rajifashola with regards to curbing some social norms in the state, in that part of the country. And of course, precisely, it has been actually signed into law against smoking in public. That is to say that anyone caught smoking in public in Lagos, in public places in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, presently faces some form of disciplinary measures, precisely going to jail. And before signing that law, there have been reactions, criticisms, and some other reactions from pundits in and outside Lagos State. And of course, the governor actually went further to sign that bill into law yesterday. And for now, it is actually going to stay, especially being backed by the legislative arm of government in the state. So on this edition of the program, we shall be looking at what the law says, how effective it is, you think such laws would be, and of course, going further to even suggest if some other states in the country, and even the country as a whole, can embrace that pact, embrace that step, and actually do some very similar things in their own respective regions and parts of the country. So let's hear your own view with regards to this law. What do you feel about the law? What do you actually, how best do you think that such law can be instrumental in strengthening traditional norms, religious norms in the country, in the society at large? And of course, don't forget, it's a program whereby you're always free to your views and your reactions with regards to such very vital issues. Such views are highly respected on the program. Once again, I say good morning to our friends in Nigeria, in Africa, and of course on the global scene. I have with me for analysis this morning my wonderful partners on the program, and of course, Sonny Ibu and of course Paul Anson. Good morning, Sonny. How are you this morning?
Great. Morning.
Good to have you this morning.
A pleasure, it's all mine.
You're smiling this morning, Sonny.
Of course I am, because seeing this law being passed, I think it's
and I guess I won't have to disturb Kevin on the streets with smoke.
At least I'm really happy because it's coming at the right time.
All right, good to have you this morning. And for Paul Anson, good morning. How are you this morning? It's really my pleasure to have you this morning once again. You have a few things to say to our esteemed viewers out there.
Well, it's a good day, and I believe that today is going to be a wonderful day. So people should be hopeful and trust God. You can't do anything by your power except by God. So, and it's only God that strengthens every man. So just believe God and everything will work out for you.
Okay, well, good to still have our esteemed viewers out there. Be very optimistic and know that everything worketh for those who believe in God. Just good. Now, let's look at what the law says. The law prescribes between 1 month to 3 months imprisonment or a fine of between 10,000 to 15,000 for offending smokers. A person who repeatedly violates the law risks about 6 months imprisonment or a fine of 50,000 or both. The third part of the law also requires owners and those in charge of public places and other no smoking areas to put up signs prohibiting the practice of their property on the property and stop people from smoking around the premises. Violators of provision of the law are liable on a conviction of a fine of about 100,000 naira or 6 months imprisonment or both. In his remarks, Fashola also said that the law spoke of commitment of the state government to promotion of public health and, of course, public safety. Now we'll look at some other reasons why we actually carry out in the course of the program. But for now, let's look at the 4 walls of the law. What does this law actually, like I asked earlier, how best you think that it can best put into practice, and of course, which other agencies do you think can be strengthened to ensure that there is absolute obedience to the provisions of this law? So feel free, the numbers are on screen, and let's have your wonderful contributions this morning. Now, Sonny, first and foremost, the law you have expressed your own embrace for the law, and which actually shows some level of at least speaking for some people out there who actually embrace the law. Now, what would you say about this law? How would you say that, looking at the challenges the governor actually faced before signing the bill into law, eventually yesterday, how would you say that it's been thus far? Coping with public smokers, not only in Lagos, but in the society at large. How would you say it's been thus far?
Lagos is a very busy environment and also a populated state. And if you look at the way the attitude of smoking goes on, you discover that whosoever is smoking passes the same smoke to whosoever is around that area. Now, it is a two-way thing. You, the person smoking, he inhales and bring it out. Then the person sitting around that same vicinity inhales. Now, the person who is even inhaling is more at risk than the one who is bringing it out, because out of the one that comes out is more dangerous because it has already been used, contaminated, and brought out. Now, the implication here is you are not only infecting yourself, you are infecting someone else by giving him bad breath, by making the air contagious and contaminated. Now, if we must have a nation that is health wise, that is having a sickness-free environment, I think one of the ways to achieve that is by putting in laws that will restrict certain behaviors. And this behavior, one of them is the public smoking we're talking about. No one is saying you shouldn't smoke. But be mindful of the areas where you're smoking. You see someone inside a bus, talking of populated bus that is containing more than how many people, you're smoking inside that bus. Now, how do you intend, how do you want the other passengers to cope? How do you want them to survive? Because the smoke goes to everybody, so everybody in that bus is assumed to be smoking. Meanwhile, it's just one person that's smoking. You understand? Now, the same implication is when you go out there and you smoke in areas where children are being taken care of, you are passing this thing to them. You go to a place where, okay, people go to the public toilet. You see them smoking there. Now, this place is not a place, number one, that is even conducive enough. Everybody is trying to see how you can get out of that place. Now, you're smoking coupled with the smell of that environment. Now, how do you want people in that same place to cope?
Okay, now
I think bringing this law into existence is based on the fact that research has been done. You understand? And the effect of this public smoking is what has really motivated the governor to bring in this. Don't forget that he's not something that he just sat down and made into law. It's not something that he sat down and began to say, okay, it is something that research has been done, investigations have been carried out, and the effect has also been discovered that it is more hazardous on the health of Nigerians. It's more hazardous on the health of Lagosians. You cannot build up a robust economy when majority of the youth are dying of smoking. You can't achieve such. That is why smokers have always adverts to a large extent, as if a Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation have scrubbed out advertisement on smoking, because most of them tell you smokers are liable to die young,
and yet they still go ahead to advertise.
They still go ahead to do that.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
States and other states. So this thing that this Boko Haram that are killing innocent people, they are in northern states. So everybody, both Africa and the whole world, is not happy in what is happening over there. Where there is no war in Nigeria. We are not, there is no, I don't know, there is no war in Nigeria. I don't know what is the problem, why all these things are happening. And I saw on newspaper this morning why the governor of that place was saying that they can't beat Boko Haram. So what does that mean? Does it mean that we have surrendered, they have surrendered for them? He is the chief security officer of the state. He is the chief security officer of the state. Why is that thing happening there? And I learned that there is a state of emergency in that state. Why why can't Army take care of that place proper? Then those governors, are they aware of what is happening? What are they benefiting from that? You understand? What are they benefiting? All those people that are killing, they are innocent people. What concerns them? They are not. I saw this paper this morning. Everybody is complaining that Boko Haram is this, is that. Why must that be happening? And our president is. I don't know. I don't know whether I should blame him or not, or people are fighting against him using that. You understand? Before they enter to that seat, they swear to take care of the innocent souls in Nigeria. But now people are dying. They are innocent souls. So please, my brothers and sisters, please let these people. If that governor cannot be able to take care of that state, the president should know what to do. The president should know what to do. Declare the state of emergency, make it official. This state of emergency is political. We can't. It's political. It's not that way. We can't just say political things. People are dying for no reason. 100 and something people, more than 1 million people have died because of this Boko Haram. And there was a time was declared the state of emergency. They have not done this thing before they were declared the state of emergency. Even chicken and goats was still in there. So why can't they stop this thing? Please, my brother, let us. This thing is too much. It's painful. There is no. It's a serious problem. There is no war in Nigeria. Or they want to start war again. Let's know that we declare war there, so that everybody will know that there is war. So please, it's our country. Although we are outside the country here, but we have no other place to stay. We are here for temporary work, and we will still come back there to live, have our lives to live. Please. Thank you, my brother. I'm complaining. Nobody is happy. This thing is too much. The government should know what to do about that. Please, the government should know that. Thank you.
Thanks to our friend from South Africa. Well, he's expressing his disappointment in the way and manner the Nigerian government has been able to handle security challenges in times past. Even in present times, it's quite unfortunate. And one thing we can say this morning is that God will soon bring such devilish acts to an end, to a very nearest end. Thanks for that wonderful contribution this morning. Now, so back to our topic. Now, let's quickly look at it from this angle. Sonny has actually kicked against public smoking. Now, let's look at what it does to the human health. Now, would you also go in line with those medical practitioners that say that smokers are liable to die, looking at the hazardous nature of the implications of smoking?
Yes. You see, it's so important that we know that the effect of smoking
is because of the problem. Now we need prayers, because some people are still in primitive life. So all we need now is to pray, because if we fold our hand and we continue to look things like this, very soon now war will come. I'm afraid, because I'm not happy because of what is going on, because the world the world are looking at Nigeria as the giant of Africa. So we should try and do something, because 2015 now everybody is afraid. People are preparing. So that is just my suggestion. We need prayer as Christians to make things happen positive way.
Thank you very much. Our friends this morning seems to be more really concerned about this very nasty trend.
It's annoying to see that you wake up every morning only to buy newspaper and you begin to see number of people dead. I'm becoming tired. I'm becoming full of all these updates. My email is filled with rising numbers of victims. It's painful. And looking at what the governor said, saying the Nigerian government is the Nigerian military are not equipped.
I don't think I would blame the government, the governor for that.
Well,
to some extent, he might be saying the fact.
Of course, it's based on what he have seen.
Let's take this reaction quickly. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Adeolu and Mr. Nderibo and Paul Lawrence. And this is
is Austin calling from town. It's good to join you this morning. Well, let me say that smokers actually abuse the environment and also spread diseases. But a lot of sensitization needs to be done in Lagos State because you have a lot of people, especially people from the north, who do menial jobs, and they need to be sensitized thoroughly so that they can adhere to some of these laws. Not too many people are literate in Lagos, especially those who do some very skilled jobs around. So the state government need to carry out enough sensitization, in the state, even though people are aware of the dangers and hazards of smoking, but it's just the addiction. And then when you talk about the State House of Assembly, I'm sure you know that there are some state legislators who are also smokers. So the law should also be enforced in the State House of Assembly, where you have high-profile politicians who also smoke. So the law should cater for the high and the mighty. It's a good one. At least the environment will be free from pollution. But let sensitization be done thoroughly so that people will know the consequences of breaking such offense. Now, lastly, let me chip in one or two things about this insecurity. I believe that the tribal militia of the north, otherwise known as Boko Haram, has actually failed, to advance political agitation and power struggle for the northern political desperados. But they have only succeeded in crippling economic activities in the north. The northern governors, some of them are actually sponsors of this Boko Haram. If I read correctly some article last night where the governor of Niger State was alleged to have said that the activities of Boko Haram have gone beyond the plan they gave to Boko Haram. That statement is quite disturbing if it actually came from a sitting governor. If it is actually true, it then means by implication that some of them are actually sponsoring these fanatics, advanced political struggle and power agitation. But conclusively, I want to say that if peace must return to this country, the northerners, especially the northern politicians, must understand that they are not the only tribe in this country. There are other tribes that have not tested the presidency, especially the middle belt and part of the southeast. So other sectors of the nation, other tribes should be allowed to contest for the presidency. The power struggle, the power tussle that is being carried out by the northerners should end so that there can be peace. Other tribes need to be given opportunity to contest for the top job as president of the country. That is the only way we can have peace, because the conflict in the north is all about power struggle. But let us hope we'll come out of this challenge, and this senseless killing need to end. The governors need to find solution to this crisis. We hope that God will help us. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Well, a big thanks for that. Senseless killings. I really agree with that term, senseless killings, and of course we do hope that it comes to an end. So let's thank you for that one, Mr. Austin from Kano. Now let's get this. Above all, you are seeing the need for everyone to actually be curbed by the provisions of this law. No one should be above the law, citing cases of some high-profile politicians who are smokers as well. Now, how do you think that can be achieved?
Of course, it will start from the house and then going into the public. The only thing I see there is that the implication, the punishment allotted to that is only the fault, because someone, if you have been arrested, you can be asked to pay just only 10,000 naira, and then when you pay 10,000 naira, you walk away. You understand? But where there are capital punishments, wherein it can actually curb the excess, then you will know that truly, because the point is that this thing causes cancer, and it affects the lungs. It also affects the kidney
and the heart.
And at the end of the day, when it comes like that, before you know it, people will now start soliciting for money and say, please, I want to go and do surgery, or maybe heart transplant, kidney transplant, or whatever. Because what? You have affected yourself with smoking. And for the tobacco manufacturer, you hear them, they will tell you, smokers, the Federal Ministry of Health warns that smokers are liable to die young. Just because of what? They are even trying to reduce it drastically. Now, it's not only in the public place. What about people doing it in their own private homes?
I like that angle. Now, Sonny, do you think there's a need for the government and some other relevant agencies to put somewhat a disciplinary measure for those who actually might be smoking at home?
It's an attitude and it's a behavioral pattern that one adopts to himself. And you cannot just give law monitoring people in their own house. I think when you take it to that level, that's where human rights comes in, because you've chased them from smoking in public, not in their own house. So I think they still have their own right to smoke whatever they are smoking. But the bottom line is, what if the state governor is emphasizing more, is bringing your dirty linens outside the public to do that? Now, we know smoking has effect on you. Now, not allow the effect it's having on you to also be infected by another person. Don't allow someone else to be infected by your own cause. So, if we want to look at it very well, I think the governor should make sure and ensure that this new law is being enforced, and make sure that at least our environment is serene and peaceful. Okay. That's the only way we can achieve that.
Well, I like that. According to Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola, he said the law was actually put in place to ensure that there was safety of lives, especially those who actually go out and come in from the place of work. And of course, it's also to safeguard the rights of residents in the state. Well, he also said that smokers, we are still permitted to smoke in privacy, like you heard earlier, but they were not allowed to smoke in schools, theaters, hotels, and some malls, and some other areas where lives could be endangered. And of course, you know that there is a capital punishment for that. We read that earlier, but because of time, we shall just be drawing the curtains of today's edition of People's Parliament. Thanks for being part of our program this morning, and for the security operatives. Well, you've heard that that's an accusation coming from Borno State Governor, and of course it's just for you to tighten up your seatbelts and ensure that there is security. Do what you have been sent to do in that part of the country, and well, I would guess that the rest will be left for God to do. But if you have faith comes with work that part of yours. Do your part of the bargain. Ensure that you carry out your primary assignment of securing lives and property, and of course we ensure that, I'm sure that if that is done, we'll have very positive results at the end of the day. Well, that's that for People's Parliament today. Tomorrow is another time to join us on your same station, ACBN, and of course same time, 8 to 9. In the meantime, you can always watch us live on www.acbntv.org for our live streaming. And until tomorrow and some other time will come your way, enjoy the very best of the day. Stay with God and stay blessed.
ACBN, the channel of champions.